Another important concept here is when we get notes, as it is just a list of notes, that's fine, but we're going to have a lot of issues because remember, we are in compose. So we need a way in which we can have some sort of state, right? Remember, mutable state. So we could go and say something like this, wrap all of this into a mutable state, mutable, let's say mutable list. Now this has to be mutable state as such, and then put it all inside there and call it good. That means then whenever we say get notes, the list is going to be a state because we're putting inside of a mutable state. Now it would work in any other case. However, since we are talking about room, so far this will give us a lot of headaches, so this wouldn't work. So we need another data structure or another structure that will help us get what we need. In this case, give us the state, right? The ability to have other functions or other classes to listen to the changes that we have here in our data. So what we can do actually, we're going to use the flow. So flow, as you can see here, we need to go get this flow. And interesting here, it says flow and pass any type, in this case, a list of notes, is a Kotlin X coroutines flow. We just talked about coroutines. Let's read a little bit more. So it's an async. You can't see everything, but let's see. First of all, let's go ahead and import it. It has to be Kotlin coroutine flow. Let's put this in a new line. So hopefully, if I hover over here, you can see, a lot of information again, because this is a topic that it's complex in nature, but the idea is the same. It says here that flow as a class, as a coroutine, is an asynchronous data stream that sequentially emits values and completes normally or with exceptions, right? And goes on into talk about everything. There's cold flow and all sort of things. So you can always go ahead and learn more about it. Okay? What this means really is that we can use this data structure, this structure, to sequentially pass data that can be listened to, just like mutable state and so forth, but with a little bit more information, with a little bit more things that we can do with it. But most importantly, the keyword here is asynchronous, which means it's not synchronized, these processes, these streams that we're sending, which means it's not synchronized asynchronously. It's really important because now we can have two processes going. I'm passing data here and this is waiting, and then this goes first, and then this waits and goes second, and we have this asynchronicity that's important, especially when we talk about the UI thread, because we don't want to abstract the UI thread ever. And so flow, this data structure here, is what we're going to be using, and in fact, it's what is recommended to use, especially when it comes to room database. Does it make sense? Okay. So instead of mutable list, you can make it work, or live data, there are other ones, but flow seems to work perfect, especially working with compose.